leads into how you can expand that fear. So my brain tool is get exposure over time, baby steps, but expanding out what you're comfortable with. Kieran, did you have a brain tool for that?
Oh, yes, I do. And it links so
How
nicely.
did I know?
We're syncing. We're syncing. My number two is, I'm going to talk about Seneca a bit as well, but it's to practice discomfort once a week. And I think what Seneca in his letters talks a lot about is that poverty is both a mindset and a condition. And he talks a lot about the conditions or the environments of what poverty is. And he's got a quote here because I don't want to just get it wrong and I need to attribute it to him. But he basically says, set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I feared? And I think that is so interesting that he would practice poverty, if you will, every single week. So he wouldn't sleep on his bed, for example. He'd sleep on the floor. He'd wear the scantiest clothes and ask himself that if this is meant to be the worst situation, or one of how bad actually is it? And again, it's that whole idea of correcting what you think it is versus what it actually is. And to get really, really, really practical, you need to just be mindful of the way your brain plays tricks on you. Now, to get super practical on how you could do this, for me, from personal experience, I remember trying this when I was really getting into Stoicism. And all I do to start is twice a week, I'd sleep on my floor. Instead of my bed, I'd sleep on my floor. And I would literally just get used to that and realize, hey, look, maybe my neck hurts a little bit, but this isn't that bad. Right. And then I'd went a step further. And instead of wearing like some nice clothes, sorry, mum, and thank you very much for getting them for me, but I would just literally just wear the same set of clothes over and over and over and over again. Just because like, hey, if I only have this set of clothes and I had to wash them, I can. And I think getting experience with an alternate reality that might seem uncomfortable from a distance, but actually when you come to it and you're right near it, it's not actually that bad. And I know this might seem like coming from a very privileged thing. It's like, we've got clothes, we've got all these things. There's a lot of people in the world that don't. But I think practicing that deliberately, and to get practical, put that as a theme on your calendar. So quite literally putting it as a theme on my calendar is like, I know this is going to happen on a Saturday or a Sunday. Pick that day that you do this. And I think that then extends to something that Sam and I are thinking about for the Brain Tools community, but is sort of an idea of a 30-day discomfort challenge, where we actually seek things that make us feel uncomfortable, and we do it obviously as a community together, but it's a frequency part. What gets scheduled gets done. So if you do have something that you want to make you feel uncomfortable, put it in your calendar. If you're going to actually do it, put it in there and practice it, because as Sam said, over time, it's really important, the actual act itself. And then what becomes important is the frequency. So to bring the tool together, I suppose, is to practice that fear, practice that discomfort every single week, because that exposure over time makes your expectation and reality go to zero.
Crazy. So it's just like expanding out your fear comfort circle, so to speak, deliberately by scheduling it in.
Spot on, Savvy. And hopefully then on the other side, as we say, the good stuff is on the other side of that discomfort.
Oh yeah, powerful. I like that. I've had that as my own personal experience of practicing discomfort. I actually used to do fasts for a while. I do 3-day water only fasts, and I found afterwards, I was more confident in myself over time, because I knew I could do something as uncomfortable as that.